What's up, listeners? You know that feeling at the end of the day when you want to relax, talk to your friends, and share the latest tea? These are the conversations that are usually limited to your private group chat, but we're inviting you to share the fun with us. Get ready for raw, unfiltered, laugh out loud conversations among friends. So take your bra off, get comfy, and let's jump into our show.
You guys, it's a special day! So apparently in podcast stats, most podcasts don't make it past 7 to 10 episodes, and we're on episode 10! Woo! Woo! So we're so excited. We have our little hats to celebrate that. We actually made it to a milestone. So thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks,
ladies.
girls.
It has been a pleasure.
I mean,
we're just getting started, though.
Yeah.
I know you sound like you're saying goodbye.
No, I know. It's like
I bid you adieu.
well, I don't want it to be like the Biggest Loser syndrome, where you get to that milestone, a year later, everybody's like, rah.
Yeah.
So we're just doing hats because it's just the beginning.
That's right. We're just starting, you guys.
But yeah, I guess also encouragement, keep celebrating your milestones, everyone. We're going to take these hats off because we're not going to do a whole episode like this. But thought it would be really fun to celebrate. So whatever you're celebrating, like if it's small, medium, large, whatever, celebrate. Take that time. Do your thing. It's important.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, guess what we're talking about today, ladies?
Sex.
I feel like that's going to work its way in somehow.
It's going to somehow slip in there. No pun intended.
Well, at some point we'll talk about mean girls and guys.
Yes.
But before we do that, we've introduced a segment called Baddie of the Week. We have some amazing listeners, and so this is our opportunity to celebrate our listeners, shout them out a little bit, and just like we're celebrating each of us, we got to celebrate our baddies. So we kicked it off last week, but this week's Baddie of the Week, I feel like we need a drum roll.
Let's go, dang girl, yeah.
This year's Baddie of the Week is Emily.
Yeah.
Yes. And the person who nominated Emily said, Emily is a baddie because she's an owner of a beauty freelance team in Las Vegas while also being part of the AEW Glam team. While she owns and runs a Las Vegas beauty business, she flies out weekly, damn girl, to glam AEW wrestlers across the country. She's an incredible friend and business owner. Isn't that awesome?
I love that. That's amazing.
I know. Well, we got in touch with Emily because I always ask, okay, you've been nominated. This is what people have said about you. And this is what she said. I'm so honored to be Baddie of the Week. I get such joy out of making all of my clients and performers look and feel like the baddies they are. So it feels excellent to be on the receiving end of the badness.
Yay.
So we're going to link Emily's Instagrams, because, she's got a whole empire going. And we want you to reach out to her. But we're really excited to have listeners like Emily and everyone. So if you want to either nominate yourself or there's a baddie of the week in your life, and it's gender neutral. You can be a dude and be bad. You can be non-binary and be bad. We don't care how bad you are. Just be bad and send us the thing. If you go to our Instagram or our YouTube at @brasoff_pod, you'll see the link in our bios for Baddie of the Week. And I want you to submit those nominations. So now that we said the positive stuff, let's talking about our episode. Man, we're talking about mean girls and guys as an adult. So adult mean girls and guys. And this topic came to me because I had a close friend who's a mom. And we were going back and forth in DMs. And she's like, Jennifer, am I a bad parent? And I'm like, what do you mean? Are you a bad parent? She has 4 kids under the age of 8.
God bless her.
Wow. Raising them, doing a great job. Her kids are awesome. So what happened was she is part of a mom's group. So, those moms groups, the kids get together. It also gives time for moms to socialize with, people over 4 feet tall. And she was doing stuff with this mom's group, and then all of a sudden, like, radio silence. And then, so she's like, people are busy. So they built like a play yard, whatever, in their backyard. She's like, you know what? I'm going to invite the ladies over with their kids. So she did. And it was like super quiet. Then one of them responded to her. So we all were talking and then proceeded to tell her that they didn't like the way one of her kids played with the other kids and then started trying to give her parenting advice. And it was just like really fucked up. I'm sorry. It was really messed up. And so she was all upset because first it'd been like 6 months.
Wow.
So they just ignored her and apparently had been going on and doing things without her. And just didn't say anything. So I was just like, that if that isn't the most mean girl shit I've ever heard as an adult. And I'm like, what makes people, you would think that people start outgrowing that behavior in high school. And I was also upset because this is my friend. And I'm just like, my instincts want to protect her and be like, who said it? Like, let's go get it. But I thought this would be a good topic. Adult mean girls and guys. It's crazy out there.
I'm like, literally, they just shunned her out.
They shunned her. And then the part that really bothered me was we've been talking. Mm-hmm. Like nobody ever pulled her aside. Like if you're my friend and you're screwing up, I'm going to pull you aside and be like, hey, you know, can we talk about this thing that I've seen or noticed or whatever? You may not even be aware of it or whatever. That's what I would expect someone who cares about me to do. Like, don't let me go on being an idiot or whatever, if there's even something wrong. But the fact is that they shunned her, didn't address it. And then the only time they said something, which was also hella rude, was when she reached out to them to invite them over to do something.
That's literally like childish. Ironically, that the moms were acting like their own children. Really? These are the things you teach your kids not to do.
Yeah. I mean, I would want to know what her kid did that was so off-putting.
They said that the child played too rough.
Played too rough. Okay.
They're toddlers.
Okay.
So, but even if that was true, let's say the child was the spawn of Satan. Like, I'm still going to be like, hey,
Damien.
Hey, Tia, little Damien.
Damien.
Can we just keep the knives out of his hand? I mean, if I really cared, if the goal was really to preserve the friendship, or really if I thought there was a problem, say something.
Right.
Oh, it was probably that she didn't correct it. If she was there, I don't know the context, but it's like if her child is a little devilish and kicking kids' asses on the playground and she's not saying anything, I could see how that could be a problem. Maybe they expected her to parent and the parent wasn't parenting.
And I think, especially when it comes to parenting, everyone has different styles.
Yes.
And it could, let's assume she was wrong. Like, let's see, she was ignoring it.
Yeah.
But to me, the issue is not about the offense. It was what was not done to correct it. So instead of like, hey, Mike, I don't know if I feel comfortable with our kids playing together because of this, that, and the other. I'm not going to wait 6 months and then say me and the other people were talking and then try to say something to you. It just seems really disingenuous to me.
Oof.
It's almost like proof that it's like a social thing that no one's taught is to have difficult conversations because that's clearly something that is uncomfortable to bring up to somebody. It's a confrontation to say like, hey, like we don't like how your child's acting, but like we have to learn how to have these conversations to avoid shunning people out and making them feel some type of way. Like it's a double-edged sword because I could both understand like why they were doing it, maybe to give it time that maybe he got better. I don't know. Who knows? But still, like the fact that they shunned her out, like you said, like just say something.
Well, and shunning her out shuns the kid out too. Like what? No one's gonna go to his birthday? Like that's so sad.
Oh,
like,
does he need a birthday hat? Do you need a party hat?
I don't know. I mean,
that's so fucked up.
It's crazy. But I'm just curious. Like, have you ever had a mean girl moment? Whether I would like to think that none of us are mean on purpose, but sometimes we are. But have we had mean girl moments ourselves that we're willing to admit?
It's funny because I can literally, like, I personally have been called outright a bitch, everything. I'm very honest. I just say it how it is. I have zero filter. So if I don't like something, you're going to know right now. If I don't like what you're like, whether it's clothes, personal, emotional, whatever, like, you'll know. And I don't know if it's just because I'm being so blatantly honest that people aren't like, you're an asshole. But I get that. That's the response I get when I'm responding or saying something. And I don't mean it to be mean. I'm just, constructive criticism.
Oh gosh, you don't give mean girl at all to me at all. Like you're just so sweet and genuine. And I think, for me personally, I think people perceive me all kinds of ways. You know, there's somebody out there that thinks we're bitches or that thinks I'm great. You know, it depends on when you meet me. You know, maybe I had a bad day, you know? And I think, too, it's like part of being a people person, because I think you're a people person. We're all people.
Yeah.
And it's like, as I've personally gotten older, I'm so observant. And I think I'm such a good judgment of character, and I read people, and it's gotten worse. It's like I can talk to a person I just met, and within 5 minutes, I already know where they are in life. I kind of know. And there's a little bit of, intuitiveness, and there's a little bit of, I've always had this, though, a little bit of that, woo, you know, but things will just click in my head, and people will be like, how did you know that? You know, and as I'm getting older, I'm trying to tap into it more. And I think people want to be perceived a certain way, right? And so if we're over here oh, well, because you're sad. I'm not sad. How do you know I'm sad? I'm like, well, because girl, you haven't showered in a week, and you don't have no makeup on, and and we're out here at Mastro's, and you wore this, and this just happened, and then they're like, oh, I don't want to talk about it, you know what I mean? But it's as you get older, and in a way, we're searching for genuine conversations. We're not going out to have surface level conversations anymore. I do not care for that at all. Don't come out to have drinks with me and my life is perfect. It's so great and everybody's beautiful and amazing. It's girl, you've been married for 30 years. It is not perfect. It is not great. I'm just excuse me. So I think sure, call it mean. I don't know. I think it's just wanting to crack through that surface level bullshit and get to what's really going on with you. You know, we're both taking the time to sit down with one another. Don't put on a facade, because we can see right through that. And it's not mean. I mean, it's honest.
I think that's a great point, because I think honesty and mean girl behavior are different. So to me, it's I'm kind of a straight shooter, and people don't always appreciate that about me. I can be a little rough around the edges, and I have to correct myself or whatever, or be corrected. And, that's me. But I don't think that, to me, the difference between a mean girl or guy and someone who's just direct and honest and maybe a little, rough sometimes is the intention behind it. I'm never purposefully going into a conversation I'm going to fuck up this person's day, or I'm better than them, or I'm insecure, or something like that. And I think that's the big difference to me. So, there are people who I think get categorized as mean who aren't mean. And I think people who look nice on the surface are little scorpions. They're mean.
Oh, yeah.
They're trying to fuck some stuff up.
They're coming out for blood.
Yeah.
There's this creator that has this list of 7 things. And I think she specifically said mean girls, 7 things that are mean girls. I'd love to hear what you guys think of this once I can open my phone. Technical difficulties. Talk amongst yourselves, everyone. No, but there were 7 things, 7 signs you're an adult mean girl. And I think I love the distinction between adult and kids, because when you're a kid, it's you're still learning how to interact with the world. And I think at some point, though, as an adult, you're responsible. You can't say you're learning. You've had enough time. You should be cooked. But the first one was you strive to be number one. You want total control. You'd sacrifice someone else to save yourself.
Yep, I've heard that.
You don't value loyalty. This is a one that I thought was kind of interesting. You have a clique and you're over 20.
Ooh.
I don't know, I'd love to know how we're defining clique.
A clique to me is the same 5+ people who stay in that circle and don't really invite people out. They don't really invite people in. And if they do, it's a very selective few.
Interesting.
And I know many adult cliques that click hard.
Oh, for sure. There's mommy groups or cliques.
That's
Let's
what
just
I feel
say
about
it.
that, too.
They are ruthless. Like, what? There are some mommy groups out there that are terrifying. Like, 'cause I work with kids and I'm like, who's coming? Who is that? Oh, hell no. Like, I'm like, you talk to them. I'm
that
not
mommy group? No,
Yeah,
ma'am.
I'm not talking to them. You know, and you know, I'm single. I don't have any kids. So those are the types of groups that I have absolutely no, like, they would never like, what's the reason for having this girl join us? Like, what are we going to talk about? I don't want her, a single woman around my husband. Like, there's so many things I've heard about why, you know, I'm not in with certain groups, like mommy groups or whatever. And I think as you get older too, it's harder to make friends.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you kind of just stick together with the people that you connect with and have things that are in common with. And then, yeah, I mean, I think that it could be very judgy because there's the mommy groups that clearly are housewives and well off, though. Like, they live like in the hills. And then you have the mommy groups that are just a little bit more like down to earth. Maybe the kids go to public school. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little, it's different. The conversation's different.
Conversation's
different,
You know, and, you know, I think, yeah, that I don't know if that's a indicator of being a mean girl per se, having a clique over 20, because it's just so hard to have
I think that's a
five
good
friends,
point.
like 5 friends total. Like,
Let me read 6 and
Like-
7 and let's talk about that because I think you have a really good point. So 6 is you push your power in subtle ways, and 7, you don't feel like an adult mean girl. And I kind of had the same reaction as you. When I read some of these, I'm like, first of all, you damn right I'm going to sacrifice someone else to save myself. No, in certain situations. But I think if you take them as a total, like any of these individually, I think you can justify. Like, having a clique, like, yeah, if you have a set of friends, maybe how they're defining clique is a little bit different than what's in my head. But I think if you take all 7 of these together and you're like, yeah, then I'm like, you might be a mean girl.
I recently had an experience where I was referred to somebody to do their hair, and she called me. She's from New York. She lives here. She was telling me the hairdresser that she had just didn't do it right. The color's not right. The cut's not right. And I'm like, okay, red flag, red flag, red flag. But I kind of had the pressure of taking it because it's a client. You know, like, I don't want to say no to everybody. So I was like, you know what? I'll see you then. I requested. I said, just send me a picture of your hair, how it is now, and what you want it to look like, so I know what I need to buy to do your hair. So, mind you, this was like a month prior to her appointment, so it was plenty of time. It's the week before her appointment. Still haven't gotten the picture, whatever. So I text her. I let her know. So she sends me a photo of her hair. Now, I don't want to go too heavy into color theory, but essentially what she was showing me versus what she wanted just was not possible. Like, the problem that she wanted me to fix didn't exist, if that makes sense. Like, she didn't like the warmth in her hair, but it was literally, her hair was as dark as mine. And the photo she sent me, the sun was shining right here. And it was literally just the dark hair reflecting the warmth of the sun. So there was no literal, like, warmth or ashiness in her hair. And so, anywho, I was like, you know what? I already have anxiety. I don't want to take her. So I was honest. I was like, you know what? We're really just not aligned. So I really thank you so much for the consideration, but I think it's really best for you to find somebody who's more aligned with your vision. She lost it on me. She was like, wow, you're dropping me like a hot potato. I'm going to let the person know who referred me to you, you're dropping me before even meeting me. All you had to do was add this to the color. I didn't even ask for anything difficult. And I'm like, well, this text message is showing me why I'm not going to do so. I, in my Jersey style, was about to respond with a very aggressive text message. But then I took a deep breath and I chat GPT'd it to clean it up. And I sent that text to her. But and I blocked her immediately because I'm like, I don't even want to hear her response. I just need her to know that, like, I'm firm on my choice. In the text message, it was, I have integrity with my clients and I'm not going to sacrifice that for the sake of income or an appointment. So I wish you the best.
Right on.
Boom.
I mean, I think too, that was the way you handled that. Because, you know, it's like, that you probably like 10 years ago.
I was like ready to be like this bitch.
Yeah, like it's the growth. Like I understand. I completely understand. And it's just like the other day I was trying to buy some shoes and there was a young lady in the shoe department doing nothing, like on her phone. And I was like, cool, I can. So I showed her the shoes that I wanted. And while I'm talking, she turns and goes, are you ready to be checked out? To a girl who wasn't even near the register. And the girl goes, sure, I guess. And she's like, well, I'm just going to check her out first. Okay. Mind you, I'm doing intermittent fasting, so I hadn't eaten anything yet. Yeah. So I'm just sitting there. And my mom was with me, and I look at her, and she looks at me, and she just walks away because she already knows I'm like right here. So I'm just sitting there patiently waiting. She comes. It's not the right shoes. Okay. So mind you, she has to go get the shoes somewhere else. So I waited, and then now it's like, now I gotta wait again, or I can just try these shoes on. They're not the shoes that I wanted, but for the sake of, okay, so I'm trying them on, and she it was just a fail. The size was wrong. And so I'm just sitting there like, this is so easy. I worked in a shoe store, by the way, in college. So I was like, this is so easy. She just does not give a fuck about this job at all. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, these are the wrong shoes. She goes, oh, well. And I'm like, yeah, so this isn't the right size. Oh, well, did it fit? It did not, because it's not the right size. So, yeah. Well, do you want to try this? And I was so irritated. It's like, sure, I could have, spent another hour there and got what I wanted. But I just was like, you know what? I'm going to go. And I just, left the store, which is, I know people who would have purposefully stayed and, given her a hard time or, and inside, I wanted to get what I wanted. And I wanted to make her, do her fucking job because I have to do my jobs, all the jobs I've ever had. I took it seriously. I'm the only customer here. And I was just like, gosh, there's such a lack of care for, I don't want to talk about the next generation, but there's such a big difference and I see it in customer service.
The work ethic.
I just see it, and it's just she was another young black girl, at work, I didn't want to give her a hard time, but at the same time, I just wanted her to be you know what? Listen, you might not care about this job right now, but this is building character for you. You never know who you're going to meet walking in here in this department. You can meet a lot of people. You can get to where you want to be with, but if you take it seriously, right now, I would never hire you for anything. You wouldn't even last a day, in any corporate or real world situation. And it was just me, holding in my inner wrath. Because, and is it mean to want what you want when you're a customer?
Sorry.
I don't know. I mean, it's there was a line that I knew that if I were to stay, I would have crossed. Because I was starting to get angry. Because I didn't have a whole lot of time, and I wanted what I wanted, and I wasn't getting it. And I couldn't, for the life of me, understand if I wasn't speaking clearly or, what was happening. So I chose to just walk away.
Nothing triggers my inner biatch more than bad service. And I don't even know if this is a mean girl or not, but it's I have very little tolerance. So I found a new place to live, but I was looking for places to live. And there's a community in town, beautiful property, and I made an appointment. I made it on their little website. I did everything they were supposed to. I filled out all this information, which is come on. So I did my job. I got reminders for the appointment. Monday, 9 a.m. And because I was looking for places, I had 4 or 5 appointments lined up back to back to back all day. I showed up at 9 a.m. And this is Vegas. It's hot, okay? Mm-hmm. And it's been one of those hot weeks or whatever. I showed up at 9 a.m. Nobody's there. Nobody's there. The office is locked, and there's no shade. So I'm sitting here okay, I'm boiling, and I'm in my head, you'd be you have X amount of minutes. Mm-hmm. So then I started trying to call someone, no answer. Call this line, no answer. So literally, as I made the choice, F this, I'm leaving. I start walking out, and it's been 12 minutes. So now it's 9:12. So we're almost 10, 15 minutes late, which to me, I don't do late. Like, I'm sorry, that's my thing. And so she comes in sauntering with her little bagel or whatever and comes in and she's like, oh, hey, like it was no big deal. And I'm like, are you the leasing agent? She's like, yeah. I'm like, I had an appointment at 9:00. Oh, traffic. And I'm like, there was no apology. Like, there's so much I can forgive if you say, my bad, I made a mistake, I messed up, because we're human, right? But she was like, oh, you know how traffic is. I'm like, bitch, I live in Vegas. I was here 10 minutes early. What about you? I don't even work here, And then I got in, and I'm just like, okay, this is the bougie side of me. She didn't offer me any water. She didn't give me a little snack thing.
She's eating and drinking.
She had her little thing. And then
Where's my bagel?
The second thing she said was, they don't even tell us when we have appointments. And then she's like, we're moving to this. We know what that's not true. Then she's like, we're moving to the self-guided thing anyway. Like, it was somehow my fault that I showed up to my appointment on time. So, unhealed Jennifer kind of came out a bit. Okay. And so I was just standing there because I'm like, you didn't ask me to sit down. You didn't do whatever. You're going about your business. I'm waiting for her to do something. And I'm sure I have this very pissed off look on my face. And she's just like, so what are you looking for? And I'm like, I filled out all this information. I have talked to what felt like 100 places to live. I'm like, I'm not going to regurgitate. And I said, I filled all that information out online. And she's just like, well, I don't know. But I don't have that information in my head. I'm like, sounds like a personal problem to me. So anyway, I think she finally sensed, because it's like, you guys been around me enough. If I'm in a pissy mood or there's something wrong, it's not like not clear, So she was just like, I'm sorry, I'm not like trying to have an attitude or whatever. She's like, I was just trying to really understand. And I kind of softened a little bit, but I feel the rage piece that you were talking about. And I don't know, call me a mean girl in that moment, because it's like, I have no tolerance for certain things. And it's like, if I am paying you and I'm getting ready to pay you a couple $1,000s a month, and you can't even show up on time to the appointment. You left me outside in the desert heat. I'm melting. And then didn't even say, I'm sorry. Can I get you some water?
No water.
She's like, she's like, you can go up and look around. I was like, oh, wow. Hell to the no.
Here's the keys.
Right, where I was just like, I'm out. So needless to say, that's not where I ended up.
Yeah.
That's where she's not going.
But I mean, there's a great question. It's like, what's mean girl? What's being honest? And what's you having a bad day?
Now I'm questioning my life because I'm hearing all this. I'm like, damn, I must be a fucking terrible mean girl. No, because I'm very, I'll be honest. Like, I tell a lot of my friends and even my family, I'm like, listen, like, if even a grown adult does something.
Yeah.
And they need to be corrected. Like, I feel like a lot of people stay quiet for the sake of not causing problems. But even somebody who's a grown adult doing something fucked up, they need to be corrected, because it's like a child. If they don't learn, they're not going to fix it. So for me, it's like, I will have no problem being like, you fucked up. Don't do it again. And then everyone's like, you're such a Karen. I'm like, I just don't want this to happen to me again. I didn't like my life experience with you, and I want to make sure it doesn't happen again. So that's just how I work.
And sometimes some of us aren't aware. And is it okay if I share like our pre-recording conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did something that was not cool. And someone got really, I don't want to say really, was upset about it. And I probably wasn't aware because I'm rushing. I'm trying to think of the episode. I'm trying to think of all these things. And I cut this person off, and I wasn't being a good listener or good podcast partner. And the person told me. And the thing is, like, I need that, just like we all need that. Because sometimes it's not because I'm trying to be mean or something like that. But sometimes you're right. Adults, we screw up too. And we're I wouldn't think that this person's a mean girl because they said something to me. Now, I'd be a mean girl if they said something to me and I was like, F you, and I don't correct it. But I do think that there's something about bringing stuff to people's attention. Yes. And of course, you can do it in a really like mature way.
Yes.
And then the person being receptive of it. But I don't think it's mean girl attitude or behavior to check. I don't want to say check someone sounds mean,
but correct
behavior. Say something when something happens.
100%. And I think it's fair too, because at the end of the day, this is everyone's life experience, and that is going to set the tone of how things move forward or not. So I think it's fair, no matter what, to have the courage and eloquence to have the conversation in an adult, respectful way. And then if not, use ChatGPT to help you create a dialogue to do it. But yeah, no, for sure. I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to have the confidence to have the uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah. And I think too, for me, if I'm pissed, which I haven't been like furious in a very long time because I know how I can get. So I always kind of try to woo-saw. But it takes a lot. Like, it takes a lot, right? Like, once I'm there and I just see red, just know that it was a lot happening, okay? And I didn't just, just flip a switch. But because I was like, cheerleader, and I'm around little young women now and mentoring them and coaching them, I know what a mean girl sounds like and looks like. And yeah, was I a part of a mean girl crew at some point? Absolutely. But I felt like the thing with me was like I wasn't closed off to having friends outside of that group. And I remember times where my clique, if you will, was like, why are you inviting her? Like, why is she coming? Like, don't invite. And no, it was like a rule. Like, I'm having a party. Tia, don't invite anyone. Like, they would have to tell me, like, Tia, and don't bring a friend, Tia. Like, because we all know that you're going to bring a friend. Because I would always bring someone. Yeah. I would always do that. And to this day, like, if I'm invited to something, well, now I learned, okay, can I bring someone, because I've just always been that type of person. Like, to... especially if they used to call me the friend of the friendless. It was like a bad joke. And they were like, Tia invited the girl. Like, we went to school with her for 3 years. Who is she? Like, we've never even seen her before. And all of a sudden, Tia's like, this is Janine. And we're like, who the fuck is she?
So if you were invited to a party by Tia in high school.
Oh, no, always. And I still do it. And I just always think, like, the more the merrier was always my mentality. And I was the only child. So I was, like, constantly, like, wanting, like, a lot of people and to include people because I know what it's like to feel lonely and not have, like, a siblings or a group. So it's like if I see someone, I'd be like, hey, you, come over here. And everybody would be like, Tia, no, like, why are you invited? Oh, my God. Like, and it's just like, why you guys got to be like that? Like, this is just another person, like, let's see what this person's about. And, and there was a part of me that sometimes would be made to feel guilty, I guess. And sure, I understand if you have something good, like you said earlier, you guys are like really protective of your friends. And I'm the same way. But I think, I don't know if it's like a you get territorial almost.
Yes.
When someone's like, oh, did you just call her your best friend? No, that's my best friend. You know what I mean? Like, it can get that serious, right? Because that's your ride or die. That's your, And so I don't know if if it's mean girl or if it's just your way of like, this is my safety net. This is my network. This is my tribe. And like, who are you like coming into here? Because these people know all my secrets.
Like, don't disrupt my peace.
Yeah. Like, so if you're coming in, like, I need to be able to trust you. I need to be able to, I gotta like fill you out first. So, I mean, I don't know. So I'm just saying all that to say, like, I've been on both sides of that spectrum. So
I keep thinking back. There's this person I have in mind that I went to school with. I'm not even going to say which school because I'm not really trying to narrow it down. I don't want y'all calling me later. But I think of them as like the epitome of the definition of mean girl. And I was trying to think, like, why do you think, and you started to touch on it a little bit, why do you think people are the way they are? And I think for me, it's beyond like the clique. It's kind of that like outwardly, I'm going to make your life difficult, like the Regina George kind of thing. And when I think about the Regina Georges of the world, I think like, who hurt you? Like, what is it? So if they're, and in this lady's list, I'm like, I don't know if I agree with her 7 points, but like, if I had to think about what is the things that cause the mean girl syndrome or the mean guy syndrome, what are they? Like, what is, what's that recipe?
It's definitely neglect. It's neglect.
Like attention seeking.
Yeah, it's attention. Because listen, at the end of the day, especially I've learned, at least through kids, like, you will do anything you can to get attention, good or bad, just to have the attention. And I feel like as a mean girl or boy or whatever, like if you want attention, you're going to drop the words or do the things to bring it on you. So
I had lunch with a high school friend of mine yesterday. She's in town visiting, and we were having a conversation about said individual. And I just kept thinking, like, why did anybody, she's still considered very popular. Like, why did people put up with that? Because I don't think anybody really liked her because she was so mean. So, I don't know.
I feel like there are people that like grow up like as the abused by the mean girl and still tolerate or like succumb. Because I see it. Like, I see it in certain adults and like friends. Like, I see them still like being quiet, submitting, staying in the corner kind of thing because they don't want to be almost in the limelight kind of thing, where they like almost like push away to not have the attention or have the person, you know, come to them. And I feel like that could be a thing. Like maybe the people still like her to give her the props, so she leaves them the fuck alone.
That's true. I just, like, after a while, I just didn't talk to her because I'm like, yeah, I already know what I'm going to get with that mess, so you do your thing.
And I mean, you do what works, right? Like, you know, and hurt people, sure. Cool. But like, if you are used to like being the center of attention and having this power, right? And you, maybe people think it's funny when you go, oh, look at her, like wearing those pro wings. Like maybe people laugh and they think it's funny. Like, or maybe, you know, you are, people feel better because they're like, well, I'm not wearing pro wings, so I'm cool. I'm cooler than her. You know what I mean? So it appeals to their inner, like, want and desire to be that cool person, right? And so if you're over here picking someone apart and that group of people is nothing like that person, they're going to be like, oh, I'm not like her, so I guess I'm in. Like, I'm cool, you know? And that's terrible, right?
Yeah.
But it's a real thing, and I don't know if I do believe that it's neglect, and I do believe that it's a deep insecurity and a lot of pain that the person has, and it's masked by, you know, this need to constantly pick people apart and to make them feel better. Yeah. And I remember I was out on a date, and we were at the pool, and this guy goes, look at that ugly couple over there. I'm not even.
Dang.
Just look at that ugly couple, and oh my God, is that their baby? He's ugly too. And I remember sitting there, and I was drinking. I was drinking a drink, and I was like, God, like that was like the worst thing I've ever heard anyone say. Not the worst thing, but it was like so shocking.
It was up there.
To come out of this grown-ass man's mouth, because out of all the things we could have talked about that day, right? Yeah. We were still getting to know each other. Ask me a question. You know what I mean? We don't need to talk about that couple over there and what they look like or what they're doing. Like, it was so bizarre, and I was immediately turned off. And I was just like, gosh, and it's like, you know, you might think this. Okay, so we have these intrusive, horrible thoughts. You know, everybody's guilty of it, but to say it out loud in hopes that I would agree is mind-blowing. Like, I just was like, I can't even believe that this is how what he thinks is going to impress me or make me, like, be on his, like, I don't know. It was crazy. And, like, or maybe he thought that that would make him look more attractive. Or, I don't know. Maybe he was just, like, trying to do a comparison thing with us. And I don't know. But it stood out to me as something that I wanted to say on this episode, because we all have these horrible thoughts about people and feelings about people. You don't need to say it out loud. You don't need to ever say it out loud. And if you have it, it's terrible, but, you know, forgive yourself. Everybody has them, but saying it out loud, you're taking it to a whole nother level. And
then asking people to agree
and then asking you. Yeah. And he gave me mean girl energy. So that's why I wanted to say it. And I was like, when you were like, it could be a guy having mean girl energy. And he was the first person that came into my mind. So.
Yeah, I think mean girl is a gender neutral term. And as you're saying that, I'm like, man, like a lot of the stuff I see online feels very like mean girl. Because I feel like those are the things that evoke responses from people. And so people will say it, just like the high school scenario. Like, people are saying and doing things that they get a response, and somehow that's some sort of positive reinforcement, whether that comes in terms of likes or views or comments or something like that. They don't care how nasty it is. It's like to say anything. And, you know, I could go so deep in one direction, but I'm not going to because I think it'd be too heavy. But there are some celebrities who are notoriously called mean girls or guys, and I have a little list.
Oh, gosh.
And I was just curious, what do we think? So
Okay.
the first person that came to mind immediately was Mariah Carey.
Oh gosh.
What?
I love
Thoughts? Me too.
Listen,
love
she don't
her.
give a fuck, and I give you all the
She
respect,
does
girl.
not.
Just say it how it is.
Yes.
Go for it.
People are like, she throws so much shade, but I'm like, but does she? Because like the first time I remember people talking about Mariah being shady is when they were asking about like Jennifer Lopez, and she's like, I don't know her, or whatever she said. And then most recently, she did an interview with BBC, and Katy Perry going to space came up, and the interviewer was like, hey, did you know Katy Perry went? She's like to space? Like
She
like,
said, "What does she do up there?"
what did she do up there?
literally.
He's like,
Where
where
did she go?
That's what I would
And then
say.
the interviewer's like, do you think you'd want to go to space? She's like, I think I've done enough. And I personally
Icon.
respect.
Can I push this
Iconic.
mic because then I can't drop it?
So do we all agree Mariah Carey, not mean girl,
No.
just honest?
Diva.
honest.
She's just a diva.
I think
She's-
she knows exactly who she is.
Yes.
And I can't be upset because I don't feel like she's doing that stuff because I think she's saying what exactly out of her mind because she doesn't care about what other people think. I think she's like, I'm going to live my life and go around with my non-driver's license having butt because I get driven everywhere and this is my life.
love
So
that.
not mean girl.
No,
Okay.
No.
I don't think so.
Well, speaking of not mean, Jennifer Lopez.
Ooh.
I feel like in the publicity I've heard about her, even just to like a service provider, she's not a nice person.
I've heard the same.
And that's where I get annoyed because it's like these people are working hard, especially knowing it's you. Like, don't poo poo on them. They're working hard for you. They don't have they don't even have a quarter of what you got.
Now, I will say, in J-Lo's defense, I do not know her. I've never had a personal interaction with her.
Same.
But being in Vegas, being in a place with lots of service providers, I have been told by people who have served her that it was not a pleasant experience. And so if I'm going based on that, I'd kind of have to say mean girl. But I don't know personally.
Through the grapevine, we hear she's a
Through the
mean girl.
grapevine. I don't know. What do you think?
I'll agree.
Yeah.
I'll agree. I think you're right. I don't think she's a girl's girl.
No.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't
Doesn't
want
seem
to,
like it.
you know, sometimes you wonder, and of course these are all personas unless we've actually met these people, but you kind of wonder just like, would you hang out with this person? And she's like one of those like,
I don't think I would.
yeah.
It's been a long time since Jenny from the Block. I don't think she's Jenny from the Block anymore.
No.
I think she's just, some women, they just want. I think she just wants to have a husband. She just wants to have a husband, and I don't think she cares to even Beyonce and all of even Mariah Carey. She's like best friends with like the Brad and all her you see some of these celebrities with friends. I don't know that I've ever seen J-Lo kicking it with friends, like maybe a love interest or a husband, but I've never really. Yeah, so I would agree.
Okay.
So mean girl trait, she will cut you down to go up herself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. So how about La Roche?
Oh, we love La Roche.
So La Roche, I remember seeing 2 times. Okay, so first, I'm obsessed with this season of Project Runway. So
Okay.
glad that he is a judge.
Yeah.
Love him as a judge. And apparently, and what I didn't realize was he was also a judge for one of the seasons or a part of America's Next Top Model, like one of the much later ones. And I saw some clips of him providing feedback and advice. And this would be under the category honest, but not mean. So that's what I liked because he was like, look, this is ugly. I would not put my client in this. And then provided constructive feedback. And when the person came back on the next episode, he's like, you shut me up. I was hard on you. You came back and delivered. So I don't think that was mean.
No,
Some
I-
people think she's.
Yeah, I
kind of
feel
a
like it's
BF.
fair. Like that's where we grow. That's the kind of the difficult conversation we need to grow. So just because it seems a little tough when you're getting it, if somebody can reflect, if the receiver can reflect and look back and be like, I needed that to be where I am, then it wasn't a mean thing.
And he has RBF. He has like resting bitch face. So it's hard to determine if he's,
It's hard to read the room.
Yeah, because he's just always kind of just like looking at, like those the eyebrows and the eyes and the hair. You just feel judged because of his. Like, everything's on point, and so you're just like, oh God, because he's just gives off that aura. No, so I don't think so. I think he's someone that's paid his dues in the industry and had to overcome adversity and. I mean, Zendaya is one of the best dressed on every single red carpet. He knows his stuff, and that guy that he was talking about clapped back at him, but it was like, come on, like I've been there, done that. Like you don't step to me, like you know what I mean. And he humbled him in the best way for the best reason because it was not his best work. So no, I'm gonna say no. He's not a mean girl.
I do appreciate how La Roche calls out rudeness, and like in that example, that guy was just rude.
He was so rude.
And even in the America's Next Top Model example, the model said something really nasty to him, and he was like, "Oh, he smoothed his hair," and then was like, well, "I don't like your attitude, so no, I don't think you should go on the next round." So, but I like that. That's honest. That's like that straightforward thing. Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yes.
Kendra Moore.
Yes. Kenya Moore from Real Housewives?
Yes, Real
Absolutely.
Housewives of Atlanta.
Hell yeah.
I agree too, and it pains me because Kendra's from Detroit.
Oh.
Come on,
girl. No.
But she's mean as hell.
The meanest so far on the list. That's the top. She's a mean.
I feel
mean.
Do you think it's for the sake of like her being on TV?
No. I think she is.
I say, do you think it's amplified because she's on camera?
It's
Or do you think that's
probably
just how it is?
amplified.
Yeah. I mean, she's someone who has a lot of pain in her past, and she's opened up about it.
Right.
And so I think that's how she kind of keeps her self feeling powerful.
And remember we said putting others down. So the clip that I saw of Kendra Moore. So I don't really watch. I've watched maybe some of the earlier seasons of Housewives, but now it's been on 75 years. I don't know all the people in the drama.
Yeah.
But I saw a clip of a reunion show and her talking to Kim Fields, to Kim Fields, who I've never heard a bad thing about this woman. And she was basically saying, I'm higher status than you on this show. Like, you've come to my show. I'm like, girl, calm down. And everybody else around the table was like,
So confused.
It was so... I don't know. It feels like she's obsessed with that status and I'm better than you thing. So I think it was like classic Mean Girl.
Yeah.
And to put someone else down who's had a really great career. It's like, what's the point? What's the point? Like, I can be good and you can be good.
Right.
So, yeah.
I mean,
she
definitely felt threatened by Kim Fields because Kim's, I think she's the only other actress at the time because Kenya, is a self-proclaimed actress.
she's been in some things.
She's been in some things, right? And but 2D is 2D, and she has a name and a legacy, and I think Kenya felt very, very threatened by that, and I mean ripped her. And Kim was being so sweet the whole time, like she was being so respectful and so sweet, and Kenya just kept pushing her and pushing her and pushing her until she went off. And that's what she loves. She likes to push people's buttons, and that's the ultimate mean
classic
girl.
Mean Girl behavior.
Classic. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you watch that show? No. Okay. You're like, they could be nice. Like, no, they're
Yeah,
evil.
I didn't answer because I don't want to say someone's not nice without knowing them.
I'll send you some
seeing
clips. I'll send you some
Yeah,
clips.
we'll send you clips. They're terrible. Okay, one last one on the list. Offset.
Oh. Goodbye.
So,
From Cardi B's ex.
Cardi B's ex-husband, baby daddy.
You think he's bitter because she moved on?
Yeah.
Salty.
Well,
Yeah.
I think the thing that I would, yes, he's in my yes box for mean guy or whatever, was that, so they're going through something, and if you've ever had a big breakup, which I think most of us have, it's emotional. There's a lot of stuff going on. They also have children. He's been cheated, like whatever. There's a lot happening there. And like, I'm not saying you can't be upset, but then when he went on the show and then started airing all the dirty laundry, talking about she owes me spousal support or alimony, I'm like, what a little bitch. I'm sorry. I'm like,
he emasculated himself on TV.
Yeah, he did.
yeah, like
that's not
again. I think it was like it wasn't in the vein of I actually think this is owed to me, which I would have a whole different set of whatever. But it was this whole like you're just doing this to tear someone down, and I was just like, I can't. I mean, come on, dude.
It's like defamation,
and it was obvious too.
Yeah.
It was obvious, and it just made him seem so small.
But this is like, you know, he's definitely got that mean girl energy because I think he knows ain't nobody checking for Offset.
No.
Like, the fact that Cardi even gave him the time of day, let alone 2 kids out of marriage.
I would say multiple times.
is like, wow. Like, she could have had anybody. And she chose Offset. Like, I think I'm still not over that. Like, and they're not even together anymore. It was like a shock because he was not worthy.
No.
And had the audacity to cheat on her.
Yeah, we already knew what was going to happen.
Ew.
Like, Stevie Wonder could see it. We all could see it. Well, I don't know if it was a shock to her,
Not
but
Stevie.
it was not a shock to anybody how all this played out,
man.
right? Because
So
I mean,
true.
come on, and he's out in the streets trying to be with all these different women and making sure the photographers catch him walking down the street with video girls and all the, and it's just like, dude, like you'll never be as popular as Cardi. You're not
so
going to be as
small.
likable. You're never, ever going to steal her shine, ever.
Nope.
And that's what kills him, right? Like, because he thought he was the main character in that relationship, and he never was that.
And he's still not.
He's still not. And she's with NFL baller who's handsome, who, you know what I mean, who they like this couple. This is an it couple. They're in support of this couple. They weren't in support of them. So he's having a fit. Like,
And he doesn't know when to stop.
Hurt
Like,
people hurt.
I just really want to be
Yeah.
like, just be quiet.
yeah.
lost.
He lost. Oh, he fumbled hard.
It's like, how much further down your throat can your foot go?
He'll never even come close to
No.
getting another girl like that. He knows. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would say yes, mean girl.
Mean Girl. That was my list, though. I mean, and I think what this episode makes me think about is like, there's the difference between mean girl behavior, mean guy behavior, honesty, and just having a bad day.
Yeah.
Is really all about intention. Because if my intention is to do something hurtful to somehow amplify myself, that's the whole mean spirited thing. And I don't know if I agree with Lady 7 things, although I think some of them resonate. But in general, it's like, if you find yourself, look in the camera here, you find yourself like constantly being that person who's saying some crappy things and you can't understand why people I'm just being honest, just ask yourself like, why? Because I guess a good piece of advice that I received in terms of giving criticism, if it's not something that someone can correct in like 24 hours or something like that, then it's not really constructive or helpful. So like, I'm not going to make fun of someone because of their weight, because that's not something but behaviorally that they are doing. First of all, that has a damn thing to do with me.
Right.
And it's not something they can correct. But if someone like oversteps or they're not on time for their 9 o'clock appointment, left me melting in the sun like Trick Daddy. Sorry. We talked about last episode and I just can't. The melting Tootsie Roll still in my head. No, that's correctable. And I can say something about that. And that's a behavior that can be corrected. So I think to me, it's all about intention.
Yeah.
And if you find yourself being a person who's saying bad things or negative things, calling it constructive criticism, but if it's not really constructive, then you're being a mean person.
You're being a mean girl.
You're being a mean girl.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've all kind of said it, but not like we have it in us to be mean girls. Like we have all been a mean girl at some point, or some of us are, recovering mean girl. And we can give off that energy if we so choose.
Yep.
But again, the older you get, you pick and choose your battles, right? Like everything is not worth that energy. And it's so funny. I watch Hunting Wives on Netflix. Are you guys watching Hunting Wives?
I did see it.
I'm like the only one not into that.
It's
You gotta watch
insane.
Hunting Wives.
think
It's
I
so
have
good.
to.
It's so good. But that clique on Hunting Wives are Mean Girls.
Oh, yes.
They're a bunch of mean girls.
Those are Mean Girls.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the girl that the character coming in is supposedly a nice girl, and they don't have anything in common because she works and they're housewives and they're rich and she didn't come from that. So, but anyway, she tried her hardest to get in this clique, right? And then she finally gets in, and they like fuck her over, like so bad. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it feels good to feel like you're a part of something like that. But then you might think that, oh, they're so beautiful and they're so glamorous, and sure, they say mean things, but look at what they have. Like, I get to have brunch in a mansion with them every day, and we get to go to swim in their pool and stuff like that. But at the core, at the end of the day, like, they will turn on you so fast.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
they have no loyalty to you whatsoever. So I'm like, when you were saying those 7 things, that made me think of that show, because all of those women have those 7 qualities.
Literally.
So
All of
this
them.
click almost sounds like heroin, so it might feel good in the very beginning.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gonna mess up your life.
Yeah.
Oh, it's when wait till you watch it.
Okay, I gotta
Oh
watch
yeah,
it.
you gotta watch it, and it's fun and it's sexy, and you don't. But I don't like any of the characters. Like, I'm not emotionally invested in, like, I'm not rooting for anybody because everybody's terrible.
Yeah.
and that's why it's so good.
Yeah.
Like, everybody,
It's a train wreck. You can't stop watching.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right, I'm adding it to my Netflix queue.
Yeah, yeah.
So you guys have to let us know, have you been a mean girl or have you received mean girl treatment? And let us know in the comments. Let us know on TikTok, on Instagram, and don't forget to follow and subscribe on all of them to keep up in tabs with us.
Don't leave out any juicy details too. We want to know
I know, and
all the good parts, all the bad parts, everything. Yeah, sorry.
and then no, my bad. No, after you. No, after you. No, after you. And I'll be honest, like, I'll reply, and if I've been a mean girl, I'll admit it. And I have had those moments, and I haven't necessarily shared them in this forum, but I'd like to think that I've grown from that.
Don't ever. That I've grown from that.
I've grown from that.
Girl.
See, if I say it with an accent, it actually sounds like I did
guess so.
something.
I guess so.
All right. But yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing your comments and thoughts.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Bras Off. Did you love it? If you did, go to brasoffpod.com to join our community of baddies dedicated to bold conversations, dynamic learning, and unforgettable connections. Until next time.